Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a Christmas bake with me or cook with me. I've got some baking and cooking that I want to do for this Christmas season, so I thought I would just do a video and share it with you. So first of all, I'm going to be starting out by doing some bone broth here in my Instant Pot. What I like to do is save any veggie scraps, which is mostly like carrot peels and celery tops and onion skins, and also any bones from chicken carcasses that I cook up. So I just stick those in the freezer until I'm ready to make some soup with it. So I'm just gonna put it here in my Instant Pot, and I'm gonna add some water up to the max line. And then I also like to add a little bit of turmeric powder. This gives the broth a really beautiful golden color. It also has some amazing health benefits. So I'm just gonna cook this on high pressure for about 3 hours and then just kind of let it sit for a while until I can get around to it. I love making bone broth because, you know, this is winter, soup season. Can never go wrong with too many soups. So I just love to have this on hand because it tastes absolutely amazing. While that's cooking, I'm going to go ahead and get started on making some homemade granola. Now this is something that we love to eat for breakfast, so I usually make it pretty frequently, but if you're looking for maybe a gift to give to some family or friends or something, this is a delicious recipe that you can get some pretty packaging, like cellophane bags. I've seen some Christmas ones at the Dollar Tree and just fill them up, and it makes a really good homemade Christmas gift. I did a recipe video a while back on this granola recipe, and I love it because it's so versatile. You can basically add whatever you'd like on hand. It's super easy. So I will link that video down below in the description box or in the iCards, and you guys should definitely give it a try. So today's recipe that I'm making is just with old-fashioned oats, sliced almonds, some pumpkin seeds, and flax seeds that are ground, and then lots of cinnamon. And then for my liquids, I'm using some coconut oil, honey, and homemade vanilla extract. Normally I cook this in the dehydrator just because it's so much easier, but if you bake it in the oven, it gets a little crispier and more golden brown and is a little bit quicker, and not everybody has a dehydrator. So I like to set the timer for about 15 minutes and then take the stuff out and just kind of, you know, stir it around because the stuff around the edges tends to burn a little bit quicker or brown a little bit quicker. So I just put it back in increments of like 8 to 10 minutes until it's completely done. So while my granola is finishing up in the oven, I'm gonna go ahead and get started baking some banana bread. I bought some bananas that the kids ended up not eating, so I wanted to make some banana bread. You can also make muffins or even bread. This is a wonderful gift for family or friends for this Christmas season if you want to do some homemade baking. This is a delicious recipe. Again, I did a video on this. I will link it down below or up in the iCards, and be sure to check this out. This is a very delicious recipe. Now in my normal recipe, I put the bananas in a food processor to make sure that they're nice and mushed up and fully like liquefied so you don't have banana chunks, but I was feeling kind of lazy today, so I just used a potato masher, and that's probably what most people use. So if you don't want to go to the extra step of getting out the food processor and making it extra smooth, you can definitely just mush them up. So it's totally your preference. So time for a quick break from banana mushing to get the granola out of the oven. It is done, so I'm just gonna let it cool before I put it away. For an extra special treat in this banana bread, I'm gonna add some chocolate chips. This is one of my favorite things to add. I don't like to add nuts to it, but chocolate chips just take it up a notch, and especially if you're gifting it to somebody, it's amazing. This is actually a double batch that I'm making, so it's gonna make 2 loaves instead of just 1. So I did go ahead and put these in the oven, but for some reason I wasn't recording when I did it, but yes, I definitely did cook these in the oven. I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick throw the dishes in the dishwasher, not a full-on cleaning the kitchen because I still got lots of other stuff to do, but I do like to pick up after myself because I tend to get overwhelmed when there's a lot of dishes and stuff when I'm trying to do cooking in the kitchen. Now that the granola has cooled, I'm going to put it in a container that I like to keep our granola in. Again, if you're making this for friends or neighbors or gifting it, then you can get some sort of cute packaging. I've seen lots of really cute bags at the Dollar Tree. They even have like containers that are similar to like what popcorn comes in, and you can definitely be creative and tie a bow on it, and just it makes a lovely gift. And who doesn't want homemade granola? It's absolutely delicious. Time to check the banana bread with a toothpick, but it still needed just a few more minutes. So while that is still cooking, I'm going to go ahead and clean down the counter. Now, when I make granola, I tend to make a huge mess and it just gets everywhere. So I'm going to give the counter a quick wipe down and sweep the floor because yes, some ended up on the floor. Look how beautiful that broth turned out. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and strain out all the veggie scraps and the bone scraps. I got about 8 cups of broth here, and there is a layer of fat on the top. I like to just let it sit in the fridge overnight and then scrape that off. You can keep it in there if you'd like. I don't like to use it because it makes it too greasy. So I'm just gonna let this cool on the counter, and then I have 2 recipes this week that I'm gonna be using it with, so I'm not gonna freeze it, but if I wasn't, I would just go ahead and freeze it in 2-cup portions. That way I can pull it out as needed for soups in the winter. It's always great to have bone broth on hand for making soups. And the banana bread is also done as well. Look how beautiful this turned out. All you have to do is get some festive plastic wrap like red or green, stick a bow on top, and add a handmade card, and this makes a wonderful gift for family or friends. And now it's time for my favorite Christmas activity, and that is making and decorating sugar cookies. I made this dough last week, but Miles ended up with a cold, so I just stuck it in the freezer and we moved decorating cookies to this week. So I took it out last night and stuck it in the fridge so it could thaw, and I wasn't sure if it would work. It was kind of dry and crumbly, but then once I kind of worked it together and kneaded it a little bit, it ended up softening up and it worked great. So if you ever make homemade sugar cookies, don't be afraid to freeze the dough if you can't get to it right away. So I actually made a double batch. I still have more in the freezer that we might pull out and do that on Christmas Eve. This first batch was pretty crumbly, so I used a spatula to help kind of fish the cookie shapes out. It kind of helped, but they definitely turned out better once the dough just kind of relaxed a little bit. So next time I think I'll leave it at room temperature for a little bit before we roll it out, and then kind of knead it a little bit to get all of that, all the dry little crumbles incorporated. But after that, it worked out perfect.
I spend my time running around, keeping people pleased. But this is my favorite holiday. It's a chance to start over new. 'Cause I missed you, so I'm letting go of everything but you. These are the good times with you. Baby, this year it's just gonna be you and me. Hang by the fire and chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, and I've been longing to hold you close. Forget about everyone else. Isn't this how it's...
I'm now going to go ahead and make some elderberry syrup. I love making elderberry syrup in the winter. It tastes absolutely delicious and it's super easy to make. The kids love it. We take it just about every day throughout the winter, and then when we're sick, we definitely end up taking a couple doses of it, and it's super easy to make. I did a video on it a while back, so I'll link it down in the description box or up in the iCards. And then also I get my elderberries from Amazon, so I will link that down below as well. I'm going to wrap up the banana bread in just some plastic wrap, and then one of the loaves I'm going to wrap in plastic wrap and then foil, and that way I can stick it in the freezer for a later time. I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup and wipe down the counters because it is now time to do dinner, so I kind of want my workspace clean before I get dinner started. So the elderberry syrup has been simmering for about 45 minutes to an hour, and I've let it cool slightly, and now I'm going to strain out the berries. And I like to mush it through this strainer thing that I have here, just right into a canning jar. And I like to get every little last drop out, and then I just either compost the berries or throw them out because there's nothing really much you can do with them, and you're just left with the nice elderberry syrup that's left behind. I like to add local raw honey to this and give it a really good stir and then store it in the refrigerator. And we usually take about a spoonful of it a day. The kids take a smaller spoonful of it a day. And then again, when we're sick, we'll just take a couple more doses. This is something that's really great to have on hand, especially during cold and flu season. And it's so much cheaper to make it yourself than to buy it pre-made. As you can see, the kitchen is a disaster from all my baking today and dinner, so instead of cleaning it, I'm going to snap my finger and it's going to be perfectly clean for you guys. So we're going to end this day and I'll pick back up tomorrow where we are going to start back up with decorating our cookies. I found some of this natural food coloring at Smith's. I was really excited because it didn't have any dyes or anything like that in there. So I went ahead and got that. And then I also found some of these rainbow sprinkles, which did not have any dye as well. And then these are the sprinkles we have from previous years. So I thought we would just use those two since they're Christmas colors. So overall, I'm pretty happy with how well these colors turned out. They were pretty light, so some of the colors I had to use quite a bit more, but I think it's definitely an option if you can't have food coloring or if it's something that you try to avoid. I will definitely be buying these again when I run out.
Well, I'm all for Christmas, all the happy smiles and the wishes, and I want it all from the lights to the mistletoe. Tell me one thing, is there anything that you're missing? I will keep you warm as soon as you remove that snow. Whatever we do, we will be alright. These holiday wonders will open your mind. May all your wishes tonight come true. The love I live, the dream Christmas, I only wanna be close to you. Hey. Whatever we do, we will be alright. These holiday wonders will open your mind. May all your wishes tonight come true. The love I lived, the dream I knew. Well, I'm all for Christmas. It's a magical time full of kisses.
After I wiped the table down, I decided to get my vacuum and put the little narrow attachment on the end to get all of the little sprinkles out of the cracks. I also got a toothpick to kind of help get the ones that were stuck and get them suctioned up in the vacuum. It actually worked out quite well and I was able to get all the sprinkles up. I hope you guys enjoyed this Christmas cook and bake with me. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe, and I hope you all have a Merry Christmas, and I will see you guys in my next video.